Unpack this a little bit. Joining me now is Ben Wittes, senior fellow at the Brookings Institute, more importantly, editor-in-chief of Lawfare. And he's also now an NBC News and MSNBC legal analyst. Mr. Wittes, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Let's start with what the president said. He said it's unlikely, he doesn't need to. Can you imagine a scenario where the special prosecutor, given everything he's looking into, in particular, I'll just pull out one event, the Donald Trump Jr. meeting and the initial response written on Air Force One to the New York Times about said meeting, just that alone, is there any way that Robert Mueller would not want to talk to the president?
It's inconceivable that Mueller would close this investigation without talking to the president for at least three reasons. One is if you're going to pursue criminal charges, in the most extreme case, of course, it would be totally irresponsible to do that without hearing the president's side of the story. If you're planning not to pursue criminal charges, similarly, making sure that the president's account is, in fact, consistent with what you think you know from other sources is pivotal to doing that responsibly. And moreover, if you're contemplating charges against other people who might call the president as a defense witness, you need to know what he would say. Right. So I think there's no scenario in which these matters would get closed out without some interrogatory mechanism with respect to the president. At the end of the day, as you pointed out, Mueller has the ability to issue a subpoena and compel and have a court compel the president's testimony. And for that reason, there will be a negotiation and there will be a lot of posturing. But at the end of the day, as Bill Clinton did with Ken Starr, I think it is very hard to see how the president does not submit to an interview in some form.
All right, so let's take this for what I believe it is, too, which is a very Trumpian move, which is he likes to negotiate. So he's going to take an extreme position publicly because his lawyers are in the middle of this negotiation with Mueller. What's realistic? What's the minimum that you think the president might be able to get Mueller to commit to? No recording of it, maybe written. What do you think, if you were the president's lawyer, what would you be trying to convince Mueller to do under this scenario? Because my guess is the president's lawyers are worried about a perjury trap.
Yeah, I think that's probably right and perceptive of you. I mean, this is a client who has a penchant for saying whatever comes to his head. He's not especially bound by things like the truth. And this is a very dangerous moment for him, therefore, as his lawyer, right? So look, ideally, you want to keep it out of the grand jury and as an interview. You want it ideally to be not under oath, although I think most of these investigations have been done as FBI investigations, which are not sworn. And I think if you're his lawyers, you're probably dreaming about doing it as a set of written questions, which some of the news stories have floated. Right. But I can't imagine a situation in which Mueller or his people would accede to that.
So very quickly, realistically, you expect an interview similar to what they did with what Starr did with Bill Clinton?
Well, so Starr's interview with Clinton was actually a grand jury testimony that was done by video conference from the White House. The accommodation that Starr made to Clinton was that his lawyers were present. I think this is likely to be an interview. I suspect it will be conducted not by the agents, but by some of the prosecutors. And I suspect it will be done on Trump's turf, and it will be done with counsel present. But that's just a guess. I don't actually think Trump has that much negotiating room here.
Well, that's probably the most important point there. And we don't know when Mueller wants this. We could be months away from when he wants this, not days or weeks away. Anyway, Ben Wittes, our newest contributor here at NBC News and MSNBC. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you, and thanks for being on today.